Welcome to the new series where we each secretly build the same Pokemon, then reveal our teams live and react in real time. Same Pokemon, no comparing notes. From competitive meta-driven builds to laid-back casual picks, we welcome them all in hopes of inspiring the next generation of Pokemon trainers. Walk with us down the Champions Road. And so this is the start of a brand new series for our channel, and it's something that we used to do with battle builds, but now we're going to be focusing specifically on Pokemon Champions, the new game that come out. It's also going to be coming out on mobile by the time the video drops. And so we have selected our very first Pokemon, to no surprise of anyone, because, you know, I'm the one in charge. So we decided to choose on one of the most iconic Pokemon to ever grace the screens of all of our games and cartoons. We have started with Charizard. The way this works is that each of us go off to the side, we build our own version of the Pokemon. Nothing is restricted as long as it is the same Pokemon. So Charizard, Mega Charizard Y, Mega Charizard X are absolutely on the field. And so stick around and hear us out. Maybe you'll find some inspiration on a new build, a new way to train your Charizard. Let's get into it. So Charizard is our resident fire flying type Pokemon with the abilities Blaze or Solar Power. Its base stats are 78 in HP, 84 in attack. Defense is 78, special attack at 109, special defense at 85, and speed of 100. Unless you choose to go Charizard X, in which case the ability becomes Tough Claws, which gives contact physical moves, 30% boost in damage, and its base stats are 78 in HP, 130 in attack, 111 defense, 130 in special attack, 85 in special defense, and a speed of 100. Or, if you'd like to go for the crowd favorite of Charizard Y, you get the ability known as Drought, which sets up the intense sun, and its base stats become 78 in HP, 104 in attack, 78 in defense, 159 in special attack, special defense is 115, and a speed of 100. Charizard and Charizard Y share typings, so and they are 4 times weak to rock, 2 times weak to electric and water, take half damage from fairy fighting, fire and steel, quarter damage from bug and grass, and are immune to ground move. And Charizard X, being a fire dragon type, is 2 times weak to dragon, ground, and rock, takes half damage from bug, electric, and steel, and 1/4 damage from fire and grass typings.
I don't know if y'all are ready for this. Like, I used this before I switched my team up a little bit. It was during the first season. My Charizard was all about that sunny day vibe, bringing out the summer right on the battlefield. Obviously, we started off with the EV builds, dumping it all into that speed, all into that special attack, and whatever you have left over with those 2 little baby points, just throw those into HP. That said, we're not going full cannon with this because we are going timid nature because we want that speed. We want this thing shooting first and shooting fast. So we're going to take that attack drop from that nature. Obviously, we're going to have it hold that Charizard art. We want that Drought. Not going to stay base Charizard too long, although there is a note to make sure that your timing when you Mega Evolve a little bit more important against Mega Frostlass or Mega Tyranitar, because based on matchups, that's going to be the slower Pokemon who's Mega Evolving that changes the weather is the weather that's going to stick on the field. And you want to make sure you have that Drought and don't waste that opportunity to put it out there. Moves are going to be Protect, just to kind of scope out and kind of make sure you're in a safe situation to start shooting at them. You have Solar Beam for after the Mega Evolution, and Heat Wave is going to hit hard regardless of the situation, as well as cleaning up on both sides of your opponents. Another big note is Mega Aerodactyl is scary on this build. Mega Aerodactyl is going to be way fast, and that Rock Slide is just going to knock you straight out of the air, so make sure to switch out to something a little bit safer during there. For that, I'd like to suggest the partners Venusaur with Chlorophyll and Sleep Powder is great because it's offering you that speed control, which is going to help you against some of those harder matchups. and this thing's an absolute wall when it heals in sunlight. Other options for a partner would be Milotic with competitive and Icy Wind giving you more speed control, competitive allowing you to lead with it during Intimidate, and then you could even slip Life Dew on here to keep your Zard blasting away. Think you guys could handle my Charizard's flames?
I like it. I like going for that, fast and blast them, Yeah, I like it, especially with the partner Pokemon you chose for it too as well, especially the Milotic. I am totally in favor of the Life Dew on it as well. I am going to actually note that down for future use myself.
So yeah, no, pretty solid build. Speed control definitely important with Zard. I do like the addition, or well, that you said that Venusaur would make a decent partner for this setup, because perhaps I might have had similar thoughts, because great minds do things alike, but overall, yeah, no, really solid build.
Yeah, I have to admit, that's a lot of what you set up is my general go-to. Charizard Y, going into that. I like the fact that you've got the Drought going, you've got you said the Solar Beam, right?
Yep.
That's
Sniping in the sun.
Yeah, that's a great combo because of the fact that you don't have to charge. It's quite literally blast, and I love that. I also do like the fact that you're intentionally holding back for just a turn so that their weather setters, if they've got it going, that you can turn around and just flip the switch on them and take away whatever little advantage, giving yourself that change. The pairing of Milotic with the Life Dew, that was interesting, especially since you're doing two things at the same time. And I have to appreciate the fact that you did drop this in, because I honestly had never even considered that combination. That is a great setup, and I think this could prove some interesting potential. Even if they don't use Milotic with the Life Dew, there's a couple other Pokemon I think that are out there that can aid in the same way, but as support. But that is a really strong presentation. I think our viewers would actually really appreciate the idea that you brought forth on this one. Nice going.
All right. Are you tired of using Mega Charizard Y? Are you even considering using Charizard X? Well, how about if I told you you don't need the Mega Forms for it? Get away from those Mega Stones. Save it for somebody else. You use it on a Mega Blastoise or something. What I have for you today is a modest Charizard. 4 points into special attack, 4 points into HP, and the rest into probably speed or something. I don't know. That's probably a lot better. Just put it in speed, because you are going to be running modest with solar power. Nah. I hear you. Why don't I just set the sun by myself with a Mega Charizard Y? Well, you know what? You can use one or two more other Pokemon instead of wasting that Mega Stones on your item slot for your Charizard. Because you got two Sunsetters. You got Torkoal and you got Ninetales. Now, you can run both of them if you want. I mean, half your team going to be fire types after that. But I think you're okay with choosing either or. In my case, I think it depends on what the rest of your team comp gonna be like. Ninetales if you want a special defensive, speedy kind of support, or you can go with screw it, Eruption, everything. Also use a Solar Beam maybe with Torkoal. And with how the meta currently is in Champions, you're facing a lot of physical attackers most of the time, so I think Torkoal might be the better option. It depends. At least at the time of recording this video. But this Charizard, running that solar power in the sun, for those of you who don't know, it's kind of like giving him a life or boost, it boosts his attacks anyways, damage, but you gotta sacrifice HP every turn. I believe it's 116 if I remember correctly of your Charizard HP. That's why you want to max out your HP at least on your Charizard, so that you can last that many more turns. But now here's the fun part, the move list. So I kind of had the same idea with X a little bit in one of the moves, which is being Roost, because you do want to keep that HP up as much as you can. You could use it to one of your support Pokemon in order to do that. If you wanted to, you could run something as a partner like, God, what's that thing called? Audino. Audino gets the healer ability, but if I remember correctly, you can also set the sun, and it has access to heal pulse. So that's another way to keep your Charizard fully healed up if you don't want to run Roost on it. But Roost, if you need it to set your Charizard yourself, good idea. Plus it removes its flying for the turn as well, so like if you get hit with a rock type move, it's not 4 times damage, it's 2 times damage now. For the offensive moves, since we're going all out on this Charizard, Fire Blast. I don't care how inaccurate it is, Fire Blast. You can go big damage, solar power boosted in the sun. Second move, coverages. Now you can go with Solar Beam, right? Pretty standard on the Charizard in the sun, right? Solar Beam. So that's always a good thing. But you also have another option, which I would put for option number 3 for the move, Scorching Sands. You heard me right, Scorching Sands. Not a lot of damage, but still getting quite the boost from solar power and with the sun up too, because because solar power mostly. You also have the added benefit of Scorching Sands inflicting burn. Now, what did I say earlier? You got the mostly offensive Pokemon, physically offensive Pokemon running in the Champions meta right now. So you proc that burn with that Scorching Sands, perfect, right? You lower their attack point, making your Charizard having a little bit more survivability. Items, you can go crazy here. You got 3 offensive moves, so you got 3 different items to choose from because Life Orb is not in the game yet. You want to do more damage with the Fire Blast? Charcoal. You want to do more damage with the Solar Beam? Miracle Seed. Want to do more damage with the Scorching Sands? Soft Sand. You got 3 options for items, and those 3 are pretty good. Or you can put a Citrus Berry, but because you have the Roost already anyways, Citrus Berries is not bad. But definitely one of those 3 offensive items to boost up your damage. Yeah, that's my sales pitch.
There's a sales pitch, and then there was the commercial we just got.
That explains why it sounds like a coffee maker. It sounds like he just got sick of going out to Nuevo Team Flare and getting his cup in the morning. You got the Fire Blast for the thing, although I would change up that beam to be roasted. I would throw a Chardy Berry on there to drop that rock damage, so that way you can actually put some pressure on a lot of the rock sliders we're seeing with Garchomp, Tyranitar, Aerodactyl. And then if you survive that and then knock out that Solar Beam, coffee in the morning. Guren's going for a lot more bulkier build than I am, so staying alive is going to be really important, as opposed to where I'm just trying to clear the field before anything actually happens.
Hey, listen, when it comes to Fire Blast, all I'm gonna say is if it's not 100%, 50% or 0%, whatever the saying is. Really subtle. I like the addition of Scorching Sands. I didn't know Scorching Sands got a damage boost from Sun though.
Oh no. That was my mistake during this stuff. Yeah, it's getting the boost because of solar power.
Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of misheard.
That was my mistake.
No, definitely an interesting build for sure. What made it more interesting was probably the sleep deprived state you're in. That kind of made it lean towards more. Call 1-800-GUREN for your Charizard now. No, again, a really solid build. Not much more I can say that X hasn't already said.
I think it was a bold move going with Fire Blast. I do love the move. I'm just always afraid of that miss. But overall, I think you've gotten... Yeah, I think the idea of you being in there, being a pain, and then just when you think that it's, you're about to get knocked out, no, Roost. Just no, I don't think so. Just gonna. The Scorching Sands was actually nice. I saw that one. I saw another move in there that I thought was kind of interesting as well. But adding the Scorching Sands so that you have an off-type chance to burn is honestly interesting. I didn't think I would see that coming, but at the same time, the fact that you're sticking with standard Charizard and you've got your Fire Flying makes you weak to electric attacks. So Scorching Sand as your hidden ace for electric types, I think is absolutely baller. It's such a nice little haha, you've activated my trap card type deal. I love it. I absolutely love it.
All right, I hope you're all wearing stock because they are about to be blown off. My Charizard is my lovely little chubby princess Gordita. I decided to go with Charizard Y, my favorite of the 2 megas. So I thought, you know what, why not? Obviously, drought ability. Now this Charizard kind of was built for more casual fun play, just messing about, but it did, at least in my case and the way I used it, whether I got extremely lucky or it's actually a semi-decent build for competitive, I couldn't tell you. But it did see a fair amount of traction and was pretty successful. It fit into my Sun team, which wasn't a coincidence. I built it that way. The moves I gave it were Weather Ball, Solar Beam, and here's the kicker. I didn't go for Roost, because I believe Roost gets rid of the flying type, and I kind of wanted to keep that, keep things pure.
Just a quick clarification before we continue. With Roost, Roost only removes flying on the turn that it's used. Once on the next turn, you're back with flying type. So Roost is really good to heal up if you're also fast, so that you don't take the extra damage from being a flying type.
Okay, see, I thought it was like Overheat, where it like permanently
No.
type.
Yeah, no. It's only for the one turn.
I think originally the game actually did remove flying more akin to what Chase was thinking, because I have a lot of memories of trying to use, why things didn't work out, trying to use Roost a second time in a battle, and it didn't work.
So I went for Rest, and to accompany Rest, I went for Snore, because Snore hits both opposing Pokemon in doubles and has a 30% chance to flinch. Stats that I put into, I did HP 16, Defense 32, Special Defense is supposed to be 18, but I put it at 6. And the nature I gave it was Sassy to help bolster that. Oh wait, no, I gave it the wrong nature. Anyway, it was supposed to be a defense boosting nature, not a special defense boosting nature. But I did give it Sassy, so I'll stick with that. I did find a lot of success when I paired it with Gordo, my Clefable. So that's got the Focus Sash, obviously, to keep it alive. I gave it Follow Me, Life Cute, Light Screen, and Reflect to bolster the physical defense. All in all, it did work out pretty decently for comp, although that wasn't the intention. I thought I would just give it a try. It does lean more towards being casual and just having fun with it, as I think that's the best way to get into competitive is don't think about the competitive side of it. Go for casual, have a good time. If you want to try comp, then go for it.
Draco, how do you feel about him turning your favorite dragon into effectively a flying Snorlax?
I'll get into that one.
I swear I saw this as a play on Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where like Clefable is going to be Nightman or Dayman, and then we have the Venus, or like some interesting like battling he has going on. Like Charizard falls asleep, has a snoring problem, is protected by a Sugar Plum Fairy. Like I don't think PokeSphere himself could write more of a narrative for this build. I'm not even looking at the numbers yet.
I'm gonna be honest. I have never seen, in all my time of playing Champions, I have never seen a Venusaur miss Sleep Powder. That thing is not whatever accuracy it says on there. I think that is 100% accurate. So being able to put those people to sleep while your Charizard is also sleeping and snoring at the same time.
I mean, to be fair, in Champions, early on when Milotic used Defog, it would fully heal it.
Oh my goodness. Which I definitely would be expecting the Rest Store. So that's pretty good. And great name, Gordita, great name.
Yeah, the Weather Ball, I keep forgetting how amazing that particular move really is, and it just goes to show you that, it does go unappreciated from time to time, because the fact that it's a 50 power, and then when you're in a weather, it boosts up to 100, then you add Stab to that, it compounds pretty quick if you know what you're doing. And of course, Solar Beam with Drought, it's kind of a no-brainer. But what got me was the Snore and Rest combo. So yeah, you get to heal full and you don't get to miss out on any turns. And the worst part is even if you don't get to rest, even if, let's just say, you do get hit with a Sleep Powder or Hypnosis or something like that, your opponent's going to be thinking, ha, now I've got you in the next turn, Snore. And nobody will see it coming, and I love it. And of course, your partnering Pokemon of Clefable is pretty good. You've got your Life Dew, your Follow Me to keep redirecting damage, and setting up your screens. I think it's great. Although I can't wait for unevolved Pokemon to show up so that we can actually use Clefairy with Friend Guard. But this is overall a pretty good set. So for my Charizard, now y'all know I love Charizard Y. I've built that thing. As a matter of fact, I think we do have an episode where we talk about our Charizards for one of the older games, and my build has not changed as far as Charizard Y goes. So I figure I'd give myself I'd try Charizard X. I hate the design, don't get me wrong. Absolutely hate the design that they gave it, but I was kind of impressed once I started looking at the abilities and what I can do with it. So for starters, going Charizard X, I made him impish in nature, and of course the ability Tough Claws gives a 30% boost in damage to anything that makes contact. And then I started going down the list of what I can abuse. That's on his list. I ended up dumping pretty much everything into his attack and defense as far as the stat points go, and anything remaining goes right into hit points, just because I'm gonna need them in a moment. And as far as the moves go, I've chosen Flare Blitz, which does have recoil damage and a 10% chance to burn, but it also is probably one of the most hardest hitting moves that Charizard X can utilize effectively. We have Brick Break to take down any of those defensive walls that'll start turning down his damage, Flame Charge to boost his speed, and finally Roost to bring back those lost HPs every turn. And you've noticed that I didn't use any dragon attacks because honestly, getting walled by a fairy type is probably one of the most annoying things I can think of. So I've made some adjustments. As far as something to partner it with, one of the Pokemon that I, immediately kind of ran to once I saw that they were in the game was actually Toxapex, for a couple of reasons. Charizard is the active physical threat on the field, and so most people are going to try and concentrate on taking him down. What I wanted to use with Toxapex was more of a really annoying defensive counter to cover some of the weaknesses that Charizard X would have. Being a water poison type means that he's going to be able to help defend against rock and fairy typing, and then utilizing some stuff like Venoshock or even what's the liquidation to help drop down that physical defense, giving Charizard that much more damaging power when it comes to the physical attacks. Something like that. Just basically put two threats on the field and making my opponent having to kind of split their attention. Now, by all means, this build was totally not intended for any kind of VGC. This was a total casual build. Let me throw something up the wall and see what sticks. So, I mean, that's kind of where it went for me. What do you guys think?
I mean, I think you made Charizard into a Swiss Army knife. You have this thing trying to do its own speed control, its own boosting, and the damage output all in one. The Toxapex being there is just kind of misdirection at this point that punishes you for not paying attention to it. It's an interesting thing, but my issue whenever I try to diversify the use of a Pokemon kind of does that, the curse of the jack of all trades, where it doesn't do the one thing good, so you have like spread too thin syndrome. And like you said, this isn't meant to be a hardcore competitive thing, and it's meant to be more experimental and have fun, and I feel like that's very successful in what it's doing. It's exploring the range that Mega Charizard actually has with its goofy little I want to just be cat scratching at the wall design. Most people just kind of play into the Tough Claws and go Dragon Claw and stuff like that, but I kind of like that you're really a gambler with this one. The Flare Blitz and everything, I'm just really scared, and I think you should run as far away as you possibly can from any Aerodactyl.
Okay. See, when I heard you mention something about his HP stat, but I think he only put the rest 2 points into it, I was like, oh no, is he gonna do what I think he is with this Charizard X? For a minute there, I thought he was gonna say you have a belly drum. I was like, belly drum roost, Charizard X, let's go. But I still think it's pretty good. I do like how, like what X was saying, the speed control with the flame charge is definitely always good, I think, because yes, Dragon Dance is very staple for X, I want to say, for Charizard X, because you do get the attack boost, you do get the speed boost, but I still think for doubles, sometimes I think this way, like using a stat boosting move kind of feels like you waste a turn in doubles, but that's just me, especially if you have something else on the side to like for redirection or something like Chase's Clefable, then nothing wrong with that. But I still think it's good because you dishing out the damage with the flame charge, you getting that speed boost. Usually once you get like 2 of them, you're already pretty good. You outspeed a lot of things. you hit super hard with the Flare Blitz already with Tough Claws. So like that's a lot of damage.
Guren, I'd like you to tell Wolf Glick's Tyranitar that Dragon Dance is a waste of a turn.
Oh yeah, no, that still surprises me because I also do run Dragon Dance on my Tyranitar, so totally different Pokemon does not apply here. I do run Dragon Dance on my Tyranitar too, though. I've done it first, Wolf. Get out of here. I ran even Unnerve. No Sandstorm here. Yeah, but
How rude.
yeah, but like Brick Break. That's the one I was gonna go into next. That's right. Always love the option of getting the pesky screams out of the way. Always something good. And it's fighting, you know. I mean, you against a rock type, even if it's just Aerodactyl, that's still neutral damage. So you're doing quite a bit of damage to it still with the Tough Claws investment, you know. So it's all good. And and then Roost. You can never go wrong with Roost. You don't lose a flying typing because you're Fire Dragon type at that point. So
First off, I would like to say the Council of Y would like me to inform you that as you have engaged in vast amounts of heresy, you will no longer be allowed to use Charizard Y. But no, jokes aside, it's actually a really solid build. Definitely gives me like Battlefield Commander vibes. Flare Blitz, big risk, big payoff for sure. Brick Break, gotta control those screens, man, because if those get set up, then it makes your life a little bit more difficult. Interesting that you went for what is it? Flame Charge. There we go. Instead of Dragon Dance, because I feel like Dragon Dance is a staple. But you know what? If it works, it works. I don't think anybody will expect the Flame Charge over the Dragon Dance. But because you're a gambling man, I thought you would have actually run Ancient Power to try and proc that Omni Boost. But I was wrong. Having Toxapex as a partner as well, I think, although Toxapex is quite popular, I think it's still severely underrated. It is such a menace, especially, I think, used in this context.
The other, one of the things I failed to mention before, and I should have, is the reason I went full defense and on this is because if you look at the weaknesses for Charizard X, it's Dragon, Ground, and Rock, and most of those moves are physical. And it's already going to be resistant to things like Bug, or things like Electric, Grass, and Fire. So I really wasn't too concerned with its special defense, but tanking some of those super effective physical moves is the reason I decided to just dump everything I could into the defense so that he can actually withstand that and hopefully with Flame Charge start outspeeding. So overall, we've seen Charizard go from, we've gotten the different variations of Charizard from Y to standalone with held items, and even an X build. Did any of these builds inspire you guys? Let us know down below. How would you train your Charizard? What would you put together? We'd like to hear from you. Also, feel free to drop in the comments section what Pokemon you'd like us to try and do next. Also, remember to share, like, subscribe. Let us know how we're doing. We also have our Discord. You can find us on Blue Sky and on X, as well as videos are uploaded to YouTube and to Rumble. And as always, we'll see you in the next video.